You got to protect your face from this, maybe this. I don't have any dust in here, but well, it's probably pretty dusty, but that too. So you've decided that you want to get a respirator of some sort, and you got to do some work around the house, or you're going to be breathing some sort of chemical fumes, or you're going to be around mold. One thing you want to do is take into consideration what you're working with. If it's just dust, and it's just, you know, particles in the air that are relatively dry, you're grinding, you're sawing something, just your basic sanding of something that's normally non-toxic, you know, some wood, without any chemicals in it, you know, you're probably going to be okay with just a basic respirator, a basic dust mask. I mean, these are cheap, you know, they're N95, they filter out, I think, what, 95% of the particles when it comes to dust. They do not filter out chemicals, they don't filter out vapors and small particulates, just stuff that you can pretty much see. And they're not really that good at sealing around your face. So if you're ready to step it up to the next level after that, you could get a half mask, something that goes around your face. And again, I've run one of those for years. They're fine. You still have to wear goggles if you're running something that could splash into your face, or you know, still you have to add some stuff. So this is an option for just dust. If you're ready to go beyond that, I'm going to show you what we're reviewing today, and this is the first one. This is the one that ended up getting for my wife. This is called a 3M. Maybe zoom out a little bit here. This is a 3M 6000 series. This is a 6700. It's a small, so that goes 67, 68, and 6900. Small, medium, and large, accordingly. But this is called the 6000 series. They make a 6000 series half mask. It has the same inner mask area, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a full face mask. So it has a polycarbonate shell on it. This is approved safety glass, not safety glass, but a safety lens type material, so it's hard enough it will protect your eyes from and do the same thing that safety goggles would do. So it's not going to stop everything, but it'll stop the majority of things flying. It's going to be like wearing a good pair of safety goggles. A couple of things you'll notice about this. This right here is a little piece of acetate, and it sticks all the way over, and so this is something that you can use for if you're doing a lot of painting, but this is something you buy extra, and it comes with one trial one, and you can stick it on there, and it sticks on a little bit here. It has a little adhesive right there, and then if you were to get paint on it, you can just peel it off and put another one on. And you know, they cost a few dollars a piece, so they do cost some money. They're not super cheap, but they will protect the mask. It's a lot cheaper to replace these than to replace the whole mask. The main thing I wanted to have was to be able to hook on your standard 3M cartridges, similar to this. You know, you can buy these at Home Depot. You can buy them online on Amazon. They're pretty readily available. They're actually this is actually I think a vapor chemical thing. So this should be fine for fumes and outgassing of chemicals. This is all made by 3M. It uses a bayonet style connector right here, an adapter. So I want to be able to use those because they're readily available. They're relatively cheap. You know, for under 20 bucks, you can get restock these things and put them back on there. And you can get dust filters. You can get ones that literally filter out the same sort of things as this. If you don't want to run something as heavy and just dust, don't kid yourself. They won't filter out chemicals, but they will filter out dust. So you can buy, and I don't have any with me, but they're a very lightweight and small filter that you can put on with the same connector. So a lot of variety, a lot of options, and a lot of filter options out there available. Cap these off, unscrew this with a quarter or some sort of coin, and unscrew that, and you'll expose a cap that looks similar to this. It's just a cap, a plastic cap. This right here is a 40 millimeter DIN plug or DIN connection, or DIN adapter, and this fits your standard NATO style gas mask filters. If you want to go this route, which I did, and you want to spend it, they do cost a little bit more, maybe $20 to $30 more than the standard base model version of the 6000 series. If you go on Amazon and you buy the 6000, 67, 68, 6900 series mask, it will just have a smooth cover over here, and this is all modular. So there's a seal right here, and it does come out. It's all serviceable, cleanable, but it won't have this adapter on it. And so there's 3 different versions of this. There's one with a smooth cover over it. There's one with something that has a breathable exhaust like that. I guess apparently it gives you a little more positive exhaust for better breathing. And then there's this one with a port. And this one is called the 6000 series DIN, or DIN. And if you want that model, that's what that's called. So you will pay a little bit more. You're going to wonder, why is that a little bit more expensive? What's the deal with that? But that's the whole point. And you know, one option is obviously using the standard NATO style 40 millimeter threaded filters. And if you want to use your standard 3M filters, you just simply take these off, plug the Bayonet style filter on there, and you're done. So that's pretty much the 6000 series mask. The one that I got is a little bit different, but very similar. Again, we both went with a 3M brand. Let me put this on here. And I went with the 7000 series. Now, I like things that are black, so that's a plus. It's a little, you notice that there's a little bit different look to this one, but it does the exact same thing. You can run your 3M cartridge filters, Bayonet style, right on there. It's nothing new. Home Depot grade. All the same filters that work on this one will work on the 6000 series. So they're compatible, and they're readily available still. It's really serviceable. I mean, the front of this thing, you can completely disassemble this thing down to the valves and down to everything. Single component. You can buy, replace, fix all the components on this thing. This is a hose clamp holding this on here. So it's all very easy to disassemble and take out the lens and all the filter, you know, all the valves and all those pieces. And there's a good set of instructions on how to do that that comes with the mask. It's actually a little bit more comfortable. It has dual kind of baffles back here, or seals, I guess. They're just two seals that kind of overlap each other, and they're very soft silicone. So they're a little bit more soft and pliable than the 6000 series, and that's why people like them, is because they're a lot more comfortable. It also has, if you can see it here, it's a 6-point harness that goes on there, and they're a little bit thicker, a little bit more robust, a little bit, you know, there's metal buckles, and they're just a little stronger and thicker. I expect to have this probably the rest of my life. I mean, unless something really happens to it. The nice thing about this one, though, is we talked about the possibility of the DIN port. Well, this one has one here too, but it also has actually 3. So these come off. I think I had that loosened up, and actually it's probably a little sticky, but you can unscrew these. These are your Bayonet adapters now, and you can buy all these replacement pieces, but this basically adapts to your standard Home Depot grade 3M cartridge. And what you're left when you take that out is another DIN port. So you have 1, 2, 3. And this gives you the option. Then of course with the kit it comes with 1 plug. So the idea is that if you want to run some sort of NATO canister or first responder canister on here, gas mask, you know, any sort of NATO 40 millimeter canister, you'd plug one side, and then you'd run it on this side, or you'd plug that one and you'd run it on the front, or whichever way you needed, whichever way you got the best access or best visibility. I'm not going to go into all that. Again, your mileage may vary. You may not need that. You may not even think that, but I always like to have options. I like to have, and if it's only a couple of dollars more, and it happens to be a better quality item, which I think this is. I mean, it's something that'll last a little bit longer. I'm probably going to use mine much more than my wife will use hers. But if you want to spend the investment, that's the options you can get, and that's what the purpose of these actually is. The 6000 series and the 7000 series I would consider to be a very good choice for painting, around the house use, mold elimination if you're working under the house or up in the attic, just protecting your lungs. You know, they both have a polycarbonate lens that will protect your eyes. You don't have to wear goggles and masks, and it just takes away the clutter. It gets something you can put on really quick and you can go to work right away. This is my review on the 6000 and 7000 series 3M full face respirators.